on Oversight and Accountability. Chairman Comer, I welcome your testimony.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And good to see you, Ranking Member McGovern. I urge the Rules Committee to grant a prompt and appropriate rule for the House's consideration of H.R. 7530, the D.C. Crimes Act. In reporting out H.R. 7530, the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability holds that Congress must act to exert its constitutional responsibility to oversee the District of Columbia and make certain necessary amendments to the district's criminal code. The Committee on Oversight and Accountability has held 3 hearings with D.C. officials. Various committee members have also met privately with D.C. officials to discuss the crime crisis in our nation's capital. Throughout this work, one thing has been made very clear to us: the progressive policies of the D.C. Council are simply not working. Last year, this Congress successfully blocked the D.C. Council's revised Criminal Code Act of 2022 by passing the bipartisan House Joint Resolution 26, the first law passed by this 118th Congress. That was a great first step towards addressing rising crime in D.C., but that only kept the problem from getting much worse. The bill we are considering today expands upon that work. The D.C. Crimes Act overturns targeted portions of the D.C. Council's Youth Rehabilitation Act by amending the definition of a youth offender from a person under the age of 25 to under the age of 18. Let me emphasize D.C.'s current law. Currently, D.C. Code allows a criminal under the age of 25 to be given the same leniency that is afforded to minors. This bill requires that we treat adult criminals as adults. To further address soaring juvenile crime in the district, the bill would require the D.C. Attorney General to create a publicly available website that tracks juvenile crime data. This data will inform Congress, the district's elected officials, the Metropolitan Police Department, the public, and others on the severity of juvenile crime in the city. Finally, the bill prohibits the D.C. Council from amending its sentencing and criminal liability laws, locking in place current D.C. criminal law, and leaving Congress as the sole authority to amend such laws in the future. The D.C. Council would have succeeded in implementing radical soft-on-crime policies if it were not for the bipartisan effort of this Congress to disapprove the legislation. Even Democratic Mayor Bowser vetoed that progressive criminal reform package, only to see her veto be overturned by the council. This committee is committed to its constitutional responsibility to oversee the district. We cannot allow further pro-crime policies to be put in place while this crisis continues. Citizens of D.C. and visitors to our nation's capital deserve to feel safe. This bill is a great step towards ensuring our capital city is safe. Again, I ask the Rules Committee to grant a prompt and appropriate rule for the House's consideration of this legislation, and I welcome the committee's questions. I yield back, Madam Chair.